Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. Appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. We back in here, man, with these 33 years of prison stories. I appreciate y'all being patient with me. Been out there in Las Vegas in the desert. As y'all can see, I'm kind of congested, you know, but show don't stop, man. I gotta keep on giving y'all this good old information, man. Information we can use, information that can help us change some lives, information that's needed out here in this free world. About what's going on over there on the other side, man. It ain't nothing pretty. I promise you that. It ain't nothing pretty. But I want to thank everybody, man, for you know, their support. I want to thank everybody for rocking with the vlogs. I'll probably do some more vlogs, probably not as many as I've been doing lately. I was doing those to fill in the space because I was gone and couldn't make these videos. So hopefully y'all enjoyed them. Hopefully y'all got a chance to see some of my crazy family members, man. You know, my nieces, my sisters, my auntie, and give y'all a glimpse inside of my life, man. And like I say, wherever I go, man, y'all go. So whenever I roll out again and go somewhere, man, y'all be sure that y'all can rest assured that y'all be with me. You know, so shout out to TBP. Shout out to everybody who left a comment, everybody who watched the video, everybody who left a thumbs up. I appreciate the love for real, and I never take it for granted. With that being said, man, let's get down with these 33 years of prison stories. I was thinking today about telling y'all about when people check in, man. Checking in prison. Checking in prison. Let me explain what that means. When we say checking in actuality, I never knew why they say checking in, because it's really checking out. You're checking out of the population, but you checking in to PC. PC is what you call protective custody, right? And that occurs when something is going on the yard where you feel like your life is in danger. You feel like you got a beef that you're not going to be able to handle. You feel like somebody is threatening you and you don't want to physically deal with it, or you don't want to, you know, deal with it yourself. You check in. You know, you go to the people and tell them you fear for your life out here in population and you can't stay out here and you want to go to jail and you want to go to protective custody. Now, it's their job to facilitate that for you. It's their job to put you in a safe place, because it's also their job to protect you, which we both know is not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what PC is protective custody, and dudes check in, you know, when it get too hot out there on the yard, or they got beef with somebody and they just feel the odds is not in their favor, or even if they just scared, you know, they scared or they been extorted. They being pressed for money. They being pressed for sexual favors. They being pressed for anything that they feel like they can't deal with, so they want to remove themselves from the equation and get away from it. But that's a double-edged sword, you know, because once you check in and you go to PC, then that's on your name. You know, that's on your name, and you could come out on another institution, or you could come out later on that institution, and you can act like you gangster and you act like you tough, but that will always be thrown to you that, man, you checked in, man, or, you know, you been in PC. So you gonna always be considered weak, you know, to a certain degree, because they know now that when the pressure get on, then you can't handle it. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people deal with it different ways. A lot of people check in for different reasons. You know, some people use the excuse that their family is going through something, or they'll say, well, oh yeah, man, you know, I had some death in the family. I feel like if I stay out here, I end up doing something to somebody. I don't want to do nothing to somebody. They use that excuse. And sometimes that is legit. You have some people like that. You have some people that don't want to really mess their bit up. They don't want to really get in trouble. But at the same time, they're going through some personal stuff. Their wife left them. Their girl left them. They got a Dear Jody letter. You know, the Dear Jody letter, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that I done seen a lot of dudes kirk out over that. You know, when Jody got your girl, and you get one of them letters where, you know, you got a wife, you got a girlfriend or whatever, and they telling you, man, I don't want you no more. I can't do this. It's too hard for me. Woo, woo, woo. You know, AKA, they got a Jody out there. They done found somebody. We always call it Jody. We always say Jody got your girl. So, you know, when something like that happen, you know, that's emotional. That's you know, that's internal. So a dude will find a way to make it external. He want to get that anger out of him. He want to get that anger, you know, subside in him. So he may latch out at somebody. Somebody else might catch the blunt of what his girl did. You know, some dude that might look like the dude that he think that's messing with his girl might just, you know, bang, just get stolen on. All of that type of stuff happen, man. When you got dudes that's lose a family member, that's one of the worst, because they really be in some emotional distress, man. When you lose a family member, you know, God forbid it's your mom or your pops. You know, I done seen dudes in there, man, lose their mom or their pops, and I mean lose their mind. You know, I'm talking about go at the police, go at the cellies, go at dudes in the block that they just ain't never liked, because when they lose somebody that's significant in their life, they feel like they ain't got nothing left. You know, and I can understand that, you know, and I done been around dudes that done lost their parents, man, and I done try to be, you know what I'm saying, a friend, a good friend, or somebody to talk to, but at the same time, every time I did it, I was always, you know, feeling like if the shoe was on the other foot, would I listen to what I was saying to him? Would I want to hear that? Would I, you know, comprehend that? Would I take heed? And I probably wouldn't, you know, because had I, God forbid, had I lost my parents, or, you know, my father has always been passed away since I was young, but had I lost my mom, man, y'all probably would have never met me, man, because I would have just been so distraught. There's no telling what I would have probably did. There's no telling. But I knew for a fact I wouldn't have been functionable. I wouldn't have been approachable. I wouldn't have been the same person anymore, you know. So I try to take that in consideration when I saw other people going through that. I knew what they was going through. I knew how they felt, and I knew it was a tremendous pain to be in, man, especially in the environment that you in. You know, you going through all that emotional pain, and you got no one to talk to, no one to reach out to, because everybody in here is dealing with their own issues. Everybody in here is already incarcerated. Everybody in here has already got problems of their own. So your problems is not significant to them. Not at all. They don't even want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? You have dudes in there that lost family members or lost people in their family say, man, I need to use the phone. I got to call home, man. Somebody just told me my cousin, my brother, my side, whatever it is, passed away. Man, dudes like, man, you got to get in line. You know, you got to get in line. You can't cut the line, man. I'm saying, just let me, you know, and those things right there will cause the dude to snap. They'll cause the dude to just lose his mind. So you mean to tell me I can't get on the phone, man? I told you my people, and then that's how stuff erupt, you know. But then you got dudes that'll play both sides of the fence too. They'll lie. You know, they'll use that excuse because they can't get the phone as much as they want to, and they trying to get on that phone, you know. And they'll tell you, oh man, I just lost somebody, you know. And dudes will play the sympathy card. So it's a double-edged sword, man. So people though in prison, like I say, is a different animal. It's a different environment. You know, everything is just so different. You know, especially for me being out here now for almost 2 years, it's like everything is different, you know. And I'm still adjusting. I'm still trying to fit in, you know, where I can get in. But it's different. It's a lot different. And I got to readjust my thinking. I got to readjust how I deal with people. I got to reevaluate my surroundings, because I'm not in the same place, so I cannot act the same way, you know. And a lot of people don't understand that. That's why a lot of people come out here and they get lost, and they end up back in there, you know, because they can't transition. You know what I'm saying? Because it's such vast difference between inside and outside, you know. And when you got people on the inside, like I say, they can't handle it, because they used to being out here, especially people who first got locked up. They ain't never been locked up before, and their first time getting locked up, it's overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? It's super overwhelming. It was super overwhelming for me, you know. So a lot of people can't deal with that. And then they hear about PC, protective custody, and they check in without checking the facts. without understanding that this is going to ruin your reputation, without understanding this is going to make you even more a target if one day you decide to come up out of it, you know, because people can go check in PC and be in there for years, you know, and you may not even see them no more. They're on the same compound as you, but they don't mingle with you. They don't interact with you. They separated from everybody else. It started to be so many people that was using PC as a protective mechanism in prison that they had to start building their own community. They got own blocks that's just PC. They got own blocks that's just mental health. You know what I'm saying? They had to build their own community because it was so many people that was scared. It was so many people that couldn't deal with what you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis in prison. You know, I can remember the first community that I was on that had PC, I think it was Mecklenburg. You know, they had a whole building that was just PC. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part about it is, when we be going to the yard, them dudes would be at the window and they can see us going to the yard. They hollering and screaming over there, and some of them even, you know, getting gangster and talking. And then the dudes out on the yard saying, "Man, shut up, go lay down with your scared butt," or, you know, call them this, that, and the third, or "You better not never come out," you know what I'm saying? All of that. "Oh, I'll come out if I want to," and yeah, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't even be over there. You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy. They got gangster because they felt protected. You know, but like everything, that backfired as well. Because then you start having dudes that was checking in to go to PC just to get to the dudes that was in PC. So PC became not as safe as you wanted it to be. Because you might have a renegade up in there because he came there with an agenda. He might tell the people, you know, sacrifice his reputation just to get back there to get at you. Because you got people that check in for a lot of different reasons, man. You got people that check in because they pressured. You got people that check in because they scared. And you got people that check in because they doing that flim-flammery, that con, that larceny. And then they're caught up with them, and then the heat coming down on them, so they got to pull a great escape. You know, I've known dudes that tried everything you could think of, man. I even remember on Mecklenburg, they had a dude that was running the parlay, right? And I told y'all what the parlay is. The parlay is, you know, is like baby Las Vegas. It's betting, it's gambling. But what they'll do is they have either the football games, the basketball games, the car races, the baseball game, whatever it may be. And they'll print out all these little tickets and they'll give you a ticket with numbers on them where you can pick the teams that you think will win, but they're all going to have point spreads on them. Now, if you pick the correct teams with the correct point spread, and I think the minimum you can pick is 4. Some tickets start coming out where you can pick 3, trying to, you know, people always trying to undercut the next man and try to get, you know, but the minimum usually always be 4. So you got to pick 4 teams with the odds spread, with the, you know, spread, and they got to all win. You can't have one loss, and they all got to win. But if you put down $1, you win. You know, 10%. You put down $1, you gonna win 10. You put down 10, you gonna win 100. You know what I'm saying? You put down 100, you gonna win 1,000. You know, and this is all paid soon as the games is over, right? But if you lose one game, that's it. It's a wrap. It's over. You see what I'm saying? So dudes was drawn to the allure of I can win a whole lot for a little bit. That's the draw to the parlay. Just like the bright lights and all of this stuff up in Las Vegas is the draw to the casino. That's the draw to the parlay. And usually, like I told y'all, the parlay man usually gonna be the richest dude on the compound because he taking in money every day. You be surprised at how many people try to hit that parlay. He may take in 200-300 tickets a day. Now let's just say the minimum. Let's just say he took all in 300 tickets for $1. That's still $300 in a day. Now the people who pick you normally gonna, you know, play the 4 pick just playing $1. So the most they could possibly win is $10. So you got to weigh the odds about how many people will win versus how much money you took in. And rarely is the case that the parlay man lose more money than he has to pay out. So he always collected money on a day-to-day basis, you know. But I remember they had a dude that ran the parlay, a white guy at that. But he was legitimate enough to run the parlay because, like I say, we on Mecklenburg. Everybody on Mecklenburg to put some type of work in. That's the criteria to get to Mecklenburg, whether you white, black, Spanish, indifferent. If you own Mecklenburg, it is assumed, especially back then, I don't know what it is now, but back when I first came in, it was assumed that you had created some type of act of violence to get there. You know, and that would be a good assumption, you know, be it against an inmate, a convict, or a police. You have created some type of violence to end up on Mecklenburg because only they housed was, at the time, the only person they housed was the worst of the worst in death row. It wasn't in the in-between. Then they started housing in PC as well. So you actually got, which is crazy when you just think about it. I ain't even ever think about that. But at the time, you actually got the worst of the worst, death row, and the scared people all on the same compound. Now, ain't that crazy? Now, just imagine if these two people can get to those people. Man, it'd be crazy, crazy, crazy. But, so yeah, I remember the dude had the parlay, you know, and he ended up collecting a lot of money, like around Super Bowl or college NCAA, you know, tournament or anything like that, you know, the NBA championship. You gonna collect even more money than what you would get because they printing up tickets. One bet on the ticket may be Steph Curry over or under 30, you know, or the score over 120 to over 115. All of those type of things. So on these type of particular days, they collected more money than usual. Man, this dude collected all this money, man, probably in excess of over $1,500, maybe $2,000. And the parlay wasn't going the way he thought it was going to go. The ticket he put out wasn't hitting the way it was. The dudes was hitting. Boom, 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 hitting left and right. So that means he's going to have to pay out all his money in the morning. He didn't even make it to the morning. He checked in that night with all the money that people had put on the parlay. Yeah, all the money that people had put on the parlay. He checked in and took all the money with him. So the next morning when everybody wake up, everybody looking for him. Everybody trying to get paid. Then the rumors started circulating, man. Such went to jail last night, man. Late at night, he went to jail. And they allow him to check in with all that because he inventory all of that in his property. And back like I told you on Mecklenburg, they won't trip it. You can go to jail, you can go to jail with 200 cartons of cigarettes. And they won't trip it. Only thing they was tripping on Mecklenburg was if you was trying to kill somebody, you got them knives or you got them drugs. That's all they was tripping on. They weren't really worried or tripping about all that other stuff. That was in-house stuff. And the parlays used to be so big on Mecklenburg that you actually had COs playing the parlays. I'm telling you, had COs playing the parlay, and when they win, they got paid. They may win 20 cartons of cigarettes. And they will find a way to get them cigarettes and funnel them out every day. So they might have been a smoker and they gonna funnel them cigarettes out every day, 2 or 3 cartons a day when they get off work, and hide them in the laundry room or hide them somewhere and take them out every day. And now they done save themselves a whole lot of money on the street where they ain't got to go buy cigarettes because they got 20, 30 boxes of cigarettes that they done won in a prison game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was going down, man. That's real talk. You know, so like I say, he checked in. Now, mind you, this Mecklenburg. So everybody on here, it, like I say, to some degree, will put some work in if push come to shove. So now he done checked in on Mecklenburg. He can't never come out. Because dudes that ain't even played the parlay gonna say they played the parlay. Oh, you owe me money. Or he can't come out. So, you know, when you looking at a situation like that, his best thing is to stay back there till he gets transferred. Get transferred, go to another institution, change his name, because his name gonna go out on the wire who he is, and a description. You know, look for Joe Blow, man, with the long hair, the white boy with the beard, whatever, man. He gonna be coming from Mecklenburg and transferred, man. That sucker checked in up here, took all the parlay money, man. Woo, woo, woo. So you have a tag on his name. So he may shave and change his appearance and get out in the yard, and people say, man, what's your name? Jeff. What institute you just came from? Augusta? Oh, okay. And he gonna change it up. It's gonna take somebody to see him who know him. You see what I'm saying? But the dangers in that is, as you get transferred and you didn't put nobody on your enemy list, which would have been vast amount of people, then that one of the people that was on Mecklenburg could eventually get transferred where you were and see you and know you, and before you see them. And then you in a world of hurt. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it was somebody that was, you know, somebody. Or he actually was the one who lost money in your parlay scheme. You know? So it's a dangerous, dangerous game, man. But people play it every day in prison. Every single day. Somebody trying to get over. Somebody trying to run game. And then the heat come down and somebody trying to get out of Dodge. You know? Because when them Bethlehams get to swinging, Ain't gonna be no I'm sorry, ain't gonna be no hold up, ain't gonna be no somebody help me, because it is not coming. You know what I'm saying? It's not coming. You know, and you have dudes that will get in those situations, man, and that's what they eventually do. They'll check out. You know, but like I say, when you do it, it's gonna follow you wherever you go. A lot of people that's green and don't know and think it ain't gonna follow. Well, I did this here, man. I could go to Buckingham or I could go to Pontown. Ain't nobody gonna know me. Man, there's always gonna be somebody who know you in prison. Because we all get moved around in the same circle. We all get moved around periodically. We all get moved around without consent. You know, we in captivity. The people gonna do what they want to do with us. If they don't want us on the institution no more, they gonna send you to an institution that's not theirs. Period. So you could have a beef with a dude, and if it ain't been no physical beef where they done put y'all on some type of enemies or keep separate status, you could end up on the same camp with the dude that owe you some money. And it all depends on how you feel and how you want to carry or how you gonna move forward. So like I say, you got dudes that have checked in, man, for the craziest things. And I seen some dudes whereas they check in because they feel like the odds is against them. And as of late, it was a lot of that going on with the gang members. Because you might got a dude that's in a gang and he might claim that he from this set and he from this city and this part of town and this is OG. Well, them dudes is a little bit more organized than people realize or that people give them credit for. Them dudes will use their resources to reach back out on the street, and they will fact check that stuff, right? They will fact check that stuff, and if that word come back in to say anything you said is falsehood or anything you said is incorrect, man, them people gonna deal with you. You know what I'm saying? You can say you're Blood, you can say you're a Crip, you can say you're a GD, a Vice Lord, a MS-13. Them people gonna fact check you, man, in the penitentiary. And when the word come back, whatever it is, that's what it is. If it come back, I never heard of him. I don't know him. He ain't up under me. Man, the people gonna put a green light on you. You know, and the green light mean they gonna take off on you on site. On site, and it's gonna be more than one. And you could be standing by the warden. If they got a green light on you, they supposed to go ahead and move on you. Irregardless. They supposed to move on you, period. You know? So they might feel like they under that type of pressure and they gonna go check in because they feel like they can't win. The deck is stacked against them. It ain't no need to fight because the only thing I can do is get hurt or get killed. So they go check in. That's the rationale that they use for checking in. But like I told you before, once you check in, you done checked in. That's a stain on your name that you're not gonna be able to get off. Period. You know. And I've seen it, man. I've seen it over the years so many times. I've seen dudes be best friends and lock in with each other, man. They together every day. They gamble every day. They spend money together every day. They hustle together. They do everything. But I done seen one of them have a beef, whereas the beef got out of control. It got out of hand, and dude got at him and messed one of them up real bad. But his partner went out there, right? So then when his partner ended up getting out there, you know what I'm saying, and finding out what was going on, and then they like, oh yeah, because they so close and they always being seen together. It's just like me and Dixon. If somebody move on Dixon, they already know if I'm anywhere in the vicinity, or they do something and they get away and they stay and they come near me, I'm gonna make a move on them. I'm not gonna talk, I'm not gonna debate, I'm not gonna do nothing because you try to hurt my brother. It's my job to try to hurt you. Period. You know what I'm saying? So when this happened with these dudes that I'm talking about, everybody knew they was together. So when they seen the other one, they automatically assumed that he was gonna make a move because of what just happened. Man, he started pleading the fifth. He was scared because the drama was so serious and his partner got hurt so bad. And the dudes that they was dealing with, the opponents, was formidable. They was serious. They was about that work. So he knew he was gonna have to get that work or be about that work. So, man, he started, man, I ain't had nothing to do with what he did. That's his problem. But this is the same dude you with every day. This is the same dude you break bread with. This is the same dude you spend money with. This is the same dude y'all got winnings and gambling with. But now that he hurt physically, and because he did some crazy stuff that he had no business doing, and people done got at him, now they thinking about getting at you because they don't know if you're going to retaliate. Now you washing your hands with him. Just that easy. Just that easy. That's what I tell y'all, young fellas, ain't no love in the penitentiary, let alone loyalty. You know, you got to be cut from that cloth. You got to be about that life to be able to be loyal to a friend, to be able to be loyal to anyone, to be able to be loyal to yourself and your own principles. You got to be locked in. And it can't be no in between. It can't be no straddling the fence. You got to be locked in, because anything can happen in the prison at any time. Any situation could be brought and dropped on your doorstep at any time. Something that you ain't got nothing to do with. Because people are going through a whole lot of stuff in there, and they looking for a way to get it out of them. They looking for an outlet. They looking for somebody that's a target. They looking for somebody to get all this pent up frustration out of them and put it on somebody else. You know, which is crazy, because the number one oppressor in there is the COs and the police, but dudes is gonna make that their last recourse. They're gonna make that their last recourse. They rather pick someone that's going through the same thing they're going through, or even more, and not knowing, than to pick a CO that's actually really oppressing you. You know, but that's just a little bit about how the system is crooked and how the system is messed up. You know, but people be out there and they will see that violence, man. And you see, I've seen dudes that say some violence break out on the park, ain't got nothing to do with them. But when they see that Bethlehem get to slinging, and they see the damage it do, and they see the pain it caused, and they heard the screeches and the yells and the holler of pain and agony and frustration, man, they be terrified. You know what I'm saying? Because the first thing that come to their mind, that I would assume, is that could be them. Can they deal with that? Can they handle that? You know, do they want to deal with that? Do they want to handle that? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. You know, like on Friday when Debo asks, "Oh man, you want some of this?" No. You know what I'm saying? That's how they no, and they check in. You know, because they don't even want to be around that atmosphere, and they surmise in their mind that, man, I just do mines in the hole. But you got some people that feel like they can do their time in PC for years and whatever, and they ain't never been in there before, so they don't even know the psychological effect that that's gonna have on you. That right there is what drives people insane and lose their mind more than anything. The solitude, the confinement, the 4 walls, they start talking to you. The bed hard, the toilet flushing, that's all you got in your whole universe when you back there. So that right there is a psychological warfare right there that you're going to be in, that you're not even knowing, because you're worried about being out here in some physical warfare that you don't realize that psychological warfare may be greater than. Man. Because if you lose your mind, you lost everything. You know? So I've seen that though several times. After a ride, after a big pod fight where it was multiple people, or it was multiple stabbings, or big violence, you know, even without the Bethlehem, where just dudes just get smashed, like beat unmercifully and stomped out, and blood everywhere. Dudes will check in. Literally, you'll see that night. We might go in, we might lock in, and in the block it might be 84 people in there. When you wake up and they come around doing the count, they might say 76 house total. 69 house total. Is 84 in there, 83 house total, 80 house total. Because those dudes have checked in the middle of the night. After seeing what can happen, after seeing what's going on, they don't want no parts of it. They don't want to be around it. Oh man, Lord, if somebody put some work in on somebody and send them to the hospital, or send them to medical, or knock them out, or just, brutalize them, and the dude don't tell, or he unconscious or not able to tell, and they lock him up and they ain't got it nowhere on camera, and the dude who actually did it to him is still on the block, man, all the scared dudes be in there like trembling. They be scared to death, because now they ain't even gonna want to say nothing even crazy to the dude. They ain't even want to raise their voice to the dude. They ain't even gonna want to, oppose. If they owe them something, they start paying them, because now they scared, because now they done seen another side of this person. A person that they was looking at in one way, but now they seen something else. They seen the viciousness. They seen the violence. They seen the lack of mercy. And now they don't even want to deal with this person at all, because that's not the type of life that they live. So they'll check in, And like I say, they not knowing you was actually ruining your reputation. You are actually putting a bigger target on your back than you was if you was out here. You see what I'm saying? Now my philosophy always was from day one. I don't care what the odds is. I don't care what the danger is. I don't care how many it is. And looking back on that now, I probably was a little, because I adapted that philosophy and I meant that and I stood by that. And when I say about that, it was nobody gonna make me check in. I don't care if I was going up against a mob. I don't care if I was going up against gang. I don't care if the odds was astronomical. I don't care if they were strapped to the T's with Bethlehem and won't nobody gonna hold my back. You was gonna have to kill me before I would break my pride and go and check in. When them doors open, I'm coming out. And whatever my fate is that's out there waiting for me, you gonna have to give it to me, because I'm coming.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.